Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be here at InfoComm Day 1. I'm here with John Stearns from Zoom. Hi, John. How you doing?
Hey, Jonathan. Doing well, doing well.
Okay.
Yeah, great to be here at InfoComm. Another year here in Orlando, right?
Yes, another year, another Orlando,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still raining, it's still humid, all the regular Orlando stuff.
Yeah.
How's InfoComm going for you so far?
So far, so good. So, off to a great start. Obviously, the booth just opened up here, but there's been a variety of activities we've had so far with HETMA and a bunch of speaking panels and sessions yesterday, which has been exciting, and really excited to see the energy on the floor now, and see now the general audience is in here in the expo. So it's going to be fun and busy next couple of days for sure.
That's awesome. You were on a panel yesterday about return to office. Do you mind sharing a little bit about kind of where we are in the state of the return to office?
Sure. It's kind of funny that we're still talking about return to office in 2025, because that was a topic obviously that emerged late 2020, early 2021, in that first wave of bringing people back to the office. And the panel was really interesting. There were peers of mine across the industry on there, bringing different perspectives. Zoom's perspective obviously coming in being software only. We had some hardware partners that were on the stage as well. But it was more a conversation just around like what trends we're seeing, and where we've seen organizations have some pitfalls still to this day, and so some of the anecdotes there were, organizations that have sort of doubled down on how they were doing things pre-pandemic, the same types of video systems going into conference rooms, the same, AV designs and whatnot that really were built for an in-person or point-to-point between conference room, perspective before the pandemic, and didn't really expand that to take a look at democratizing the meeting experience, because every meeting now these days is a hybrid meeting. So, the ones that doubled down and didn't really iterate and listen to feedback from their end users, they've run into pitfalls, and others have been a lot more proactive and, in testing out concepts in smaller pockets and smaller offices and then scaling from there. So it was a really interesting conversation just around, different approaches that customers and organizations have been taking.
Yeah, that's super interesting. The way I think what we've been seeing kind of from our side of things is there is no one size fits all, right?
Exactly.
Like everybody needs to do it slightly different because your organization is trying to achieve different things, right, are out there. So for some people it works like 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, or just completely remote also, right?
Exactly.
And I think, and this is where I feel like Zoom has a very interesting angle here. It's now the new tech that goes into the room with kind of the new rooms that are out there, right? And you obviously, know rooms very well.
Yep.
That's kind of what you do. So, AI Companion is a big piece of it.
Absolutely.
Right? What's going on over there?
Yeah, no, what's been interesting with our AI Companion, obviously it's available across, the portfolio, and it's in our mobile client, our desktop client, accessible everywhere. What's been especially interesting is bringing that into the meeting space. And there's a lot of opportunity for the in-meeting experience that AI Companion can add, as well as some of the AI solutions that we've built into our camera tracking systems with Intelligent Director and Smart Gallery and whatnot. What's interesting with AI Companion now is we've had a lot of customers, particularly in higher ed, and I know we do a lot of work with you, in that environment, is organizations are designing these spaces not exclusively just to bring in far-end video participants. They're deploying Zoom rooms as really the ingestion point to capture what's going on in that classroom or that training room or that conference room, right? And so it's incredibly important, I'd say probably more so than ever, that we have good audio in those rooms, right? I've always said, great video conferencing doesn't come without great audio, right? There's a lot of solutions out on the market now with bars that have all-in-one mics and whatnot that are good for huddle rooms and certain size rooms. But of course, as soon as you expand beyond that to higher impact spaces and training rooms and bigger spaces, it's really important to capture that good audio. Because if we're not capturing that good audio, then the AI output, the summaries, the transcriptions, and action items and whatnot, those are not going to be accurate, right?
Yep.
And it's not, from a Zoom room perspective, it's not helpful for the transcript or the summary to say, Boardroom A said XYZ. We need to know who in Boardroom A said XYZ and who else contributed. And so we're using AI to assign smart name tags based on the face image of people that are in the room, as well as speaker tags, so voice recordings that are uploaded. So we can identify who exactly is in that room so that we can attribute that in those AI summaries to say that Jonathan in the boardroom said, here's our QBR plans for the quarter, and rather than, again, attributing everything to the room that's doing the speaking. And there won't always be far-end participants. Again, a lot of times we need that AI in there just to be capturing what's going on in the room, so we can walk away with those assets and be more productive throughout our day and assign those action items.
Yeah, the way I've been, I think you brought up some really good points there. The way I think about it, we used to think of audio in meetings just for the meeting.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
But now this is a long-term investment, right? This is now your data long-term that you're going to have, that you can attribute the meeting. Oh, I had this meeting a month ago in that room, and I'm going to go look and see what it is. And if I don't have the right microphone for there, it makes a big difference long-term for that organization many times.
Absolutely. There are some that will say, and depending on the industry, we're very early in our AI journey. We're exploring. There are some that are a little bit more conservative in terms of deploying stuff like this, financial services industry, legal, et cetera. It's going to take some time. But they want to future-proof these rooms, so they are thinking ahead and asking us, what do we need to be putting in these rooms to be prepared when we're ready to start to take the full advantage of AI Companion and other solutions? And that's exactly it. It's you need to be picking the right audio right now, not just to deliver high quality audio in meetings, but to be prepared for that, to be that ingestion point to be capturing what's going on in that room, whether it's a meeting or or in-person, hybrid, or virtual meeting.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You need great audio in conference rooms.
Yeah.
Anything we can expect coming from Zoom, maybe in the near future, that you feel comfortable sharing or not sharing?
I think if you've followed along some of our innovations that we've brought into Zoom, the Zoom meeting experience, and incorporating our AI companion across our all of our products and experiences. There's a big push to bring all that into the conference room, which we've been talking about here. So AI companion is now available directly on Zoom rooms for the use cases that we talked about here. And what's also interesting for us, and this is a part of the Zoom Spaces portfolio that's been heating up, is our workspace reservation and visitor management tools, which really, we were not going to market, with this concept of booking more than just rooms until, early in the pandemic, when customers were coming to us and saying, how do we reserve any type of space, which could be a hot desk or a phone booth or a conference room or a locker, or a parking space. So that's an area that's been heating up, and of course we're incorporating AI companion there to help people find the right space to get their work done. So I think that's a really interesting area. I know we have some joint innovations that are coming up that are going to be exciting throughout the year. I'm super excited about the latest, Shure line of products. So the wireless mic systems, because our customers, when they're looking at these bigger spaces, it's like you said, it's not a one-size-fits-all. They need handhelds, they need lavalier microphones, they need goosenecks at the podium. That's why I really value the partnership with Shure, because you guys have that breadth of portfolio, also incorporating that now into loudspeakers, in the room. You're servicing and helping us to extend and expand the Zoom Room story into pretty much any space. Scale this all the way up to auditoriums and larger. So I'm super excited about the partnership, and I know we've been doing a lot. Really excited about the 100-year anniversary. I mean, looking across the show floor, I don't know, is there another company that's been in business for 100 years here at InfoComm?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So I mean, that expertise in audio really runs deep with you guys, and the partnership with us started a long time ago. You've been one of our longest standing hardware partners. So appreciate everything we've done over the years, and excited to have a good year as well.
Yeah, thank you. And we're really excited about some of the stuff that we're developing right now for the Zoom ecosystem, and just working closely with you guys. And we're looking forward to have another great year.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you, John.
Thanks for having me.